Nolan Stoltz here, the composer of the Route 66 suite, and I thought I'd give you some insight into some of the ways I'm getting inspiration for the Neon Dreams movement. We will begin here in Tucumcari, New Mexico, at the iconic neon sign of the Blue Swallow Motel. One of the things you'll notice about the sign is the bright colors, which I intend to evoke in the kinds of harmonies that I will use and the instruments I will choose to play those harmonies. I will also use animated neon signs along the route to get ideas for different rhythms and meters. For example, I'd like you to notice the flashing blue swallow and how it is on a little bit longer than it is off. It's on to off in a 3 to 2 ratio, which could imply a meter of 5. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on 2, 3, off 5. Or maybe the meter is in 4 and you have a dotted quarter note plus a quarter note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Notice the other flashing neon sign that's on the opposite side of the street and further down the road. One of the things I find interesting about a street scene is that sometimes you'll get multiple flashing neon signs and almost always flashing at different speeds. To me, musically speaking, this could imply different tempos, meters, and rhythms performed at the same time and only occasionally syncing up. I got the idea of taking tempo, rhythm, and meter from an animated sign one night sitting in front of the Wagon Wheel Motel in Cuba, Missouri. I had my silent practice drum with me, and I was improvising ideas using the neon sign as a metronome. I noticed that the arrow light and the wagon light didn't seem to be even. It seemed closer to a 5 to 6 ratio than an even 1 to 1 ratio. So I improvised rhythms in 11 with a 5 plus 6 feel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's a beautiful sign in downtown Los Angeles. This is inside a food court along Broadway, which is Route 66. I like the busyness, the complexity, and yet the simplicity of it too. And that is something that I will put into this movement. Lots of simple musical gestures combined to create something sound busy and complex. Notice the simple animations of the 2 pairs of legs, the flames on the fingers, the tipping bottle, and the word drinks to the left of it. Not much going on animation-wise, yet there is so much to look at. The animated sign at the doghouse in Albuquerque, New Mexico, has the wagging tail in a pattern that reminds me of Alberti bass. Boo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee. And they go, that's in counterpoint to the sausages going into the dog's mouth. I love it. This next one is one of my favorite animated signs. The store, the original Whistle Stop, has been here for 70 years. It's on Route 66 in Pasadena, right where the original 66 came in from the north and then turned west on the Colorado Boulevard. The Circle Cinema in Tulsa, Oklahoma dates back to 1928 and is on the original alignment of Route 66. I love that they put my name and Route 66 Suite on the marquee. Their animated sign slowly spells out the word circle and then flashes it, but not all at once, but rather like a quick downwards glissando. Helium. So that's something I could work with. Circle Cinema is a great theater. I've seen a few movies there already. They even have the original organ from when they'd accompany silent films. I saw The Room there. And to see that movie in a theater with an interactive audience is an experience like none other. Spoon! Before the movie, I was able to meet Greg Sestero, the actor that plays Mark in the movie, and who was portrayed by Dave Franco in The Disaster Artist. What a great time. This theater, also from the same era, the late 1920s, is on the west side of Los Angeles in the Sawtelle neighborhood. It too has a beautiful neon sign. One afternoon, I saw the movie Only the Animals, an excellent film, by the way. There's not too much to the animation, but the sign does look amazing in person. Neon signs in old theaters sort of go hand in hand, so these ideas will probably influence not only the Neon Dreams movement, but also the final movement of the suite, which I plan to title The Show Will Go On. This here is the Highland Theater, and it's on the east side of Albuquerque. Now, some of the signs you find on Route 66 are actually technically not neon and they're LED, But I think if it's in the vein, in the aesthetic, and in the spirit of a traditional neon sign, it still plays a part into the inspiration for the music. This here is a Ford dealership in Bristow, Oklahoma, and dates back to the 20s, I believe. This one is in downtown Springfield, Missouri, a simple animated neon sign. This one in South Pasadena I love, especially the colors of the different animals that are barbecued. And I like the upward glissando effect. The neon wall at Uranus, Missouri, or Uranus, as they say, is really new. It was installed while I was out of state, so I stopped by during the day, but I'll definitely have to come back at night to see it sometime. However, I did get to meet Louis Keene while I was there. He's the self proclaimed mayor of Uranus, so I'm glad the timing worked out the way it did. Here's another theater with a neon sign. It's in El Reno, Oklahoma. No animation other than that quick flash at the very top. The 66 Drive-In Theater in Carthage, Missouri is super fun and was a real treat to see Beetlejuice, a movie from my childhood. Its neon sign simply flashes. Here's Tally's Cafe in Tulsa. Watch how the animated neon slowly descends, like going down a scale. I've eaten here a couple times so far, once with violinist James Ruggles, and then with author Ron Clements. Also in Tulsa is this sign, and for me, it may imply triple meter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Or make it a triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4, triplet, triplet. Or put it in groups of 5, like so. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. The arrow is super common on neon signs, and sometimes they just simply flash on and off, like this one in Williams, Arizona. Quite often they'll flash at a fairly slow rate, which I find to be quite calming. So I'll find ways to represent that in the music, like perhaps a gentle chord plays and then rests, plays and this rests. Same pattern here at the Glenstone Court in Springfield, Missouri. Or like this one, also in Springfield, Missouri. Just alternates between the arrow and the address. Perhaps I'll do 2 sets of instruments alternating at that rate. This neon sign is quite feverish, almost frenetic. It exhibits the quality of a big city. This is Chicago, by the way, and you can hear the L train pass above. Back to Tulsa, which I'm telling you has some of the best neon on all of Route 66. That town is really doing it right. This is Howdy Burger, and they have a nice, simple animated neon sign. This is in Weatherford, Oklahoma. And is it just me, or does this animated neon chili character remind you of Mr. Hanky from South Park? Not too appetizing. Okay, I'm not one to promote national chains, but the folks in Holbrook, Arizona fought corporate to keep this beautiful neon one. Nothing especially remarkable about this sign in Veneta, Oklahoma, but I do like the animated eyebrows. Here's another example of an on and off flashing neon sign. It's at a little diner in West Los Angeles. It's a fun place to eat, and you can sit outside and have your meal right on Route 66. I've been through Stroud, Oklahoma 6 times in 5 months, and the Rock Cafe was only open this one time. It was daytime. But they were kind enough to turn on the neon sign for me, so I hope to return soon. I really like the circular animation of this sign, which is another LED, but that's fine. I'll compose some circular patterns to evoke this motion. This sign in Albuquerque also has the circular LED, but animated in a different way. It also has neon and it has animated bulbs. I will reflect signs with animated bulbs in this movement, but I won't cover how I'll do that in this video. Here's an example of animated bulbs with static neon and animated neon, the word ice flashing. This is one of my favorite animated signs. I just love the galloping horses pulling the covered wagon. The flashing bulbs of the Motel sign is also nice. This one is in Flagstaff, Arizona. I've stayed at the El Rancho Hotel in Gallup, New Mexico a couple times now. Super cool, historic place. And I'll compose a movement in the suite related to lodging along Route 66, but I'll save that for another video. There's also a motel portion of this hotel, so they have the neon sign that changes the M and the H. The last one I'll share is enormous, but it's actually not a neon sign, but from a distance it appears to be. Sorry for the wind, but I was trying to capture the sound of the train, which is an important part of Route 66, and a sound I'll definitely be incorporating into the music in some way. But I'll save that top bit for another video.